Here are my full card predictions for UFC 318, starting from the early prelim opener, Carly Judas and Nicole Cagliari. I'm going to go with Carly Judas to win this one because I just see the finishing potential. I'm pretty sure all her wins are by TKO. She has a few losses, all by decision, I think. And Nicole, mainly kind of takedown heavy and low kicks. But Judas, I just think the finishing potential should take over. She got a head kick KO in her last fight over Yanezi Dubin, who poses power and could knock somebody out with one punch. So I'm going to go with Carly Judas, probably by TKO. I'll say round 2. Bruno Ferreira and Jackson McVeigh. I got Bruno Ferreira in this one. He was preparing for Ikram Aliskerov, but he pulled out on a few weeks' notice and got Jackson McVeigh to step in, who was supposed to compete on UFC 317 against Christopher Ewart, but he missed weight very badly and then got cut from the promotion. So he has been training, but he's kind of in this state of kind of short notice appearances, and I don't think that's an advantage in this fight, and over a guy with UFC experience like Ferreira, who has a win over Gregory Rodriguez, which has aged very well. He also beat Dustin Stoltzfus, Armin Petrosian by armbar. That was pretty impressive. So I just think the experience of Bruno Ferreira will win him this fight, probably by TKO, round 1 or 2. Or maybe he gets it done by submission. I know McVeigh also has a submission game, but not over this level of comp. Ryan Spann versus Lucas Brzezinski, if that's how you say his last name. Please correct me if I did not. But, it's kind of hard to pick Ryan Spann to win fights because of his IQ. But Brzezinski hasn't really done much in the UFC. He beat Walter Walker, which is an okay win in hindsight. He did look a lot worse in that fight than he did in his other appearances. But he should have beat Martin Buday, and he got robbed in that fight. Has a loss over Kennedy Nzechukwu. That was the first round TKO. There was also Mick Parkin TKO. Who else? Waldo Cortez Acosta. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick either of them, but I'm going to go with Ryan Spann. You can't trust in him, but I guess I'm going to say more athletic. Maybe could be faster. He just has to pick his shots this time and actually make a game plan. So I think Ryan Spann is going to win this fight by TKO or submission with his guillotine. Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. Now, this is a tough one to predict because Jimmy Crute, he hasn't really been getting wins. It's mainly just draws and losses. He had a draw with Alonzo Menifield, then lost by submission. Then he had a draw with Rodolfo Bellato. That was back in February. And Prachnio, it's been a long time. Last time it was against Modestas Bukauskas at 304, which he got submitted in the third round. But I think he was on his way to winning that fight. I know he rocked Modestas with a head kick. I was in the clinch, which is impressive, but then he shot for a takedown against him and then got submitted, so not the best fight IQ, but with Jimmy Crute, his stand-up isn't that... It's not on Prachnio's level. Probably not. Maybe he could catch him. I know he dropped Bellato, but then Bellato was getting his way on the feet, so... I'm gonna go with Prachnio to win this fight. It's a tough pick, but I'm gonna say Prachnio, probably by TKO due to leg kicks, some good body shots, and maybe he gets the final one with a punch to the chin. This is our early prelim headliner, Adam Fuga and Islam Dulatov. I got Islam Dulatov. This is kind of a no-brainer. There's no odds up, but I'd imagine him as a heavy favorite in this fight. But Fuga has experience, so he shouldn't be counted out entirely. He's fought with Mike Malott. He got submitted in round 2, I think. Got dropped and then guillotined. He also has a loss to Michael Morales, but took him to round 3. Has a split decision win over Josh Quinlan in his last fight, which was a long time ago. And, I mean, yeah, I think Dulatov is probably going to get him in round 2. First round, maybe he's going to be tricky. So I'm going with Dulatov by second round TKO. Ateba Gautier and Robert Valentin. I gotta go with Ateba Gautier. Just a specimen for middleweight. Listed at 6'4", probably a little shorter. But he does have crazy long reach, like 81 inches. That is insane. I know he has a loss, but, who doesn't? And just one worrying thing is probably the grappling. We haven't seen him at the highest level of grappling, so I feel like somebody later on could test that. But Valentin's not really the grappler. He's more of a wild guy on the feet, looking to get a crazy knockout. But against this guy, I doubt it happens. Just too much power. I think he has counter ability. He landed a step in knee over Jose Medina after rocking him with some punches, and then that knocked him out. So, and that's the Bolivian guy who has a strong chin and can't be put away, and he passed that test. Robert Valentin, pretty much had a non-fight with Torres Finney. It's not his fault, but, if he's getting out-grappled like that, then I feel like maybe grappling isn't his bread and butter, and I feel like Gautier could even use his strength to impose something himself, but I'm going to say TKO for Ateba Gautier, round 1 or 2. I just think he's going to land some powerful hooks over the guard. Francisco Prado, Nikolai Veretennikov. There's some factors when picking this fight. Francisco Prado is not welterweight sized at all. I know he has a tough weight cut, but sometimes you gotta sacrifice that to be a little bigger for your weight class and more powerful. He had some power at lightweight, but nothing revolutionary, and it's gonna be even less at welterweight. But Veretennikov, I know he went to a split decision with Danny Barlow, but Danny Barlow, he kind of got fraud checked by Sam Patterson, and just really easily lost to Austin Vanderford. Got taken down and just TKO'd on the ground. I feel like lighter man skill might win this one. I don't see a finish from either, but I'm going to go with Prado to win this one. A decision with Zellhuber is pretty impressive. Took a round off him. So I'm going to go with Prado to win this fight. Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen. Horrible choice for this to be on the prelims since there is bad blood. There are factors not factors, but they have a beef. They got into a fight at a casino. So it would only make sense for them to be at a press conference. But I don't know. But I am going with Brendan Allen to win this fight. It's just, I know he makes very horrible decisions at times. He shouldn't have engaged with Anthony Hernandez in the grappling. I know the skill level was similar, but his position, he just fumbled that one. He could have easily won on the feet. He had Anthony Hernandez spinning around with every leg kick. He just should have kept that one on the feet, and I feel like he could have finished Fluffy. Maybe to the body or to the legs. not to the chin. That's the other phenotype that doesn't get knocked out unless the type of Gauthier is fighting you. But Marvin Vettori, he does nothing very special. He's just average. He's too average, I think, to even be in the top 15. I'm sorry, but I'm just seeing no consistency. Just long layoff, coming off a loss to Roman Dolidze. Before that, had a bad loss to Cannonier. He's had some hard times in his life going on right now. So I just think Brendan Allen's going to win this fight. Knees up the middle. He was landing that on Nasruddin Imavov, which is pretty good. Pretty good in hindsight, seeing that he took a round off him. Controlled him for the first round, but made very bad entries in rounds 2 and 3. And he was actually doing pretty well on the feet. So the fight IQ can be worrying from Brendan Allen, but I feel like it will be enough to win against Marvin Vettori. This is our prelim headliner. Kyler Phillips, Vinicius Oliveira. I got Vinicius Oliveira winning this fight. I think he's got some real trajectory going on here. He's, I think, 0-3 so far in the UFC. Beat Said Nurmagomedov with a broken rib. That is pretty impressive. And out-grappled him to a decision. Landed some punches on the feet. He beat Ricky Tercios. No, he beat Ricky Simone, not Ricky Tercios. And just shut Ricky Simone down. I mean, that's pretty impressive, but Ricky Simone, he still got it. He also beat Bernardo Sapai, which he's had a win in the UFC over Ricky Tercios. And Flying kneed him, that was a pretty good one. But got out-grappled early on. But he's making improvements. I see him improving more than Kyler Phillips will. Kyler Phillips just, sometimes he'll look like he's in the Matrix. Sometimes he looks like he just got into MMA a week ago. I mean, the Rob Font fight, it was just no adjustment after grappling him, and then it just didn't work. I mean, he lost that fight. I mean, it just wasn't a good look. I know Rob Font's good, but his performance wasn't all that good over Rob Font. So I'm going to say Vinicius wins this one, probably by a dominant decision or a TKO in the third round. Michael Johnson and Daniel Zellhuber. I got Zellhuber winning this one. Why is because I know he's taken a break, 10 months since the Rubovic's fight, and that was in September on Noche. And he did get hurt really badly in the third round, which costed him the fight, but he didn't go down. And Rubovic's, he's putting people out. And that break, I see that as a good thing for him. He's going to look to improve, make the improvements he needs to make, and I feel like this is a step down from Rubovic's Michael Johnson, who has had quite a resurgence, beat Darius Flowers 30-27, but he could have done better in that fight. He put out Otman Azaitar, but, I mean, it was kind of destined. Yeah, I think Daniel Zellhuber's probably going to get this one done by TKO, rounds 2 or 3. Danny Ige and Patricio Pitbull. Now, this is, I mean, I don't know if it's that close. We've seen one fight from Pitbull in the UFC, and he couldn't really do anything to Yair Rodriguez. I mean, he landed one punch and got a takedown, but I feel like Ige would honestly do better against Yair. I'm going with Danny Ige to win this fight. It's just, Pitbull, he just got here, and he's only getting older. 38 right now. Didn't have much for Yair at all. Danny Ige's dangerous too. I feel like Pitbull can get caught, and I could see Ige putting him away, or just a decision, which he has some big moments in, so I'm going to go with Danny Ige. Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez. I've got Kevin Holland in this one. I don't know if this is the best matchmaking right now. Just seeing that Kevin Holland has gotten a win over Luke, a ranked opponent. Now he has to face the unranked D-Rod, but D-Rod is still good. Had that win over Santiago Ponzinibbio. Caught him in round 3. Like a 5-punch combination, which is good. Not every welterweight throws combinations. I mean, actually, that's more true about middleweights. But anyway, he put out Ponzinibbio in his last fight. There shouldn't be any grappling in this fight. If it is, it's probably going to be a Holland sub. But I feel like we're going to see probably a Holland decision where he's just keeping D-Rod away. Teeps of a body should work well. Straight right hands. And D-Rod, he is at a big reach disadvantage here. I mean, Holland has like an 81-inch reach. He has an 81-inch reach. D-Rod has a 74-inch reach. So I got Kevin Holland by decision here. Or maybe a late finish. Most likely by sub. Or some body shots. Something like that. Co-main event. Paulo Costa, Roman Kopylov. Now, I've been debating on this, and originally when this fight was made, I was just thinking, Paulo Costa should be able to win this fight. He's been in this position before. He's fought the who's who, the Adesanyas, the Stricklands, but, I mean, he hasn't beaten any of those guys. I mean, his last win was over Luke Rockhold. That was in 2022, and now he's only coming off 2 losses over Whitaker and Strickland. I mean, I know Kopylov has not been at this level, but the activity's better. I know he nearly lost to Chris Curtis, but he finished him, landed a head kick, got stopped with 1 second left in the fight, which does not make sense. Seemed like they kind of wanted to play it safe just in case some judges were going to give it to Chris Curtis. But, yeah, I think Kopylov should probably win this one. The way for Costa to win this fight is probably by rocking Kopylov or maybe getting some takedowns, but I don't really... Maybe he pulls that out of his back pocket, but I'm going to say Kopylov, southpaw, kick heavy. I see that causing problems for Costa, and he is good fundamentally. Yeah, I'm going with Kopylov to win this fight by decision. And he is a minus 245 favorite. I feel like that further explains my pick. Main event, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. Now, the odds are pretty even. Holloway is minus 118, Poirier minus 102. But I don't got Poirier. I got Holloway in this fight. By decision, I think. That seems the most likely for me. I know he's coming off a knockout loss first time in his career, and he's down 2 over Poirier, but second time he did take that one on 4 weeks' notice, I believe it was. And that's not really short notice, but not optimal for a title fight, or an interim title fight. Moving up a weight class, he wasn't really in the best shape for that one. Not the right time to properly bulk up and actually become a lightweight. And when he did that against Gaethje in his last appearance, he looked very good. He just had... the leg kicks were getting to him at times, and he did eat 1 shot from Gaethje, which sat him down for a second. But then he popped right up, and last second of the fight, you know what happened? Holloway knocked him out. Poirier in his last fight fought Islam for the belt. He was actually doing all right against Islam. You could make an argument it was 2-2 going into round 5, with Poirier winning rounds 2 and 4. But, Holloway's not going to be looking to grapple, so this is a bit different. But I feel like Poirier doesn't throw the leg kicks. I don't remember him last throwing a kick. I can't remember the last time he's thrown a kick. And is he going to be able to knock out Max Holloway like Poirier did? Well, Poirier is different. Poirier always moves forward, or against Oliveira he countered him, but Poirier has a different presence. And now, I don't think Holloway should look to purely box with Dustin Poirier, but he should look to kickbox, throwing body kicks. I could see those working very well. Head kicks, that's what Gaethje caught him with. Yeah, I think he should look to... And Holloway's got a new style, too. I mean, since that last Poirier fight, he's more in and out right now. Not really looking to be in your face as much. And I see that as a benefit. He's going to look to be in and out versus Poirier. What Poirier does is, if you stay in the pocket with him for that long, then he will crack you with something. Like hooks against Benoit Saint-Denis. And also wanted to mention, I think he could have done better on the feet versus Islam. I really think I do. A lot of people say Islam outboxed Poirier. He did, but was that the best Poirier we've seen? And the hands, not really. I just think Holloway's going to win this one by kickboxing. There won't be any grappling in this fight. That is pretty safe to say. I mean, maybe you could think of a Darce for Holloway and a guillotine from Poirier, but come on. There won't be any grappling here. I got Holloway winning this fight by decision. I think 48, 47, 49, 46, and he took 2 rounds off Poirier in that last fight, which was 6 years ago. And the first fight, I don't even know how long that was. But, yeah, I got Holloway winning this fight. I'm going to say decision. Respectful decision, and, it's going to be a good day in the end. Holloway's going to get on the mic. And then we're going to hear Poirier's retirement speech, Sears' retirement package, and wish him a farewell. So, those are my full predictions for this card, and I will see you for the recap on Sunday. Goodbye.